Hello everyone, my name is Bygl and welcome back to another episode here from the Let's Play series. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. And I'm testing this road here we built in the last episode to see if it's actually decent to walk on. And yeah, I think we did a pretty good job with it. I think it turned out pretty good. But yeah, we have a bit of a misfortune of a situation here. Yeah, so if you remember last episode, I talked a little bit about how we're gonna do a bit of a experimental project here. And I actually had this planned for quite a while. Well, not planned necessarily, I had this concept or this idea in my mind for a couple of months at least at this point, and I decided to record it, I decided to explain everything, and then I decided to work on it. And then I realized that my microphone was not sounding very good, basically. So yeah, we're gonna do this all over again. Luckily, you only missed the part where I converted this whole landmass into a path block biome type of scenario. So we didn't miss much, so that's nice. Right, so this is the plan of what we're gonna do today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to construct a custom wastelands biome, right? So what we're gonna have is this color of grass that I decided to go for, that kind of looks wastelandy, I think. And we're gonna have a bunch of rock formations around here, and maybe we could also have some hot areas on the landmass, so maybe we could have like a lava lake here or some sort of puddle where there is smoke coming out of it. I think that could look really cool. And also all of the sandy beaches we have all around this place, we're gonna turn those into gravelly beaches, so it looks more stony and gravelly on the sides, so it doesn't have all of this color, because we primarily want to have like browns and grays in here. That way it's gonna look more desolate, which basically is almost what we're going for. And I don't even know why I decided to do this. It's kind of a just thing that was stuck in my head for a really long time, right? And I just decided we're gonna do it today. And it could also make for some really interesting terraforming challenges and building challenges, right? So making a build that would fit into such a place could be a really fun thing to do. And also, while I was working on this is actually something that really caught me off guard. I was just, going around, right-clicking on the dirt blocks to turn them into half blocks, and a creeper blows up, and it turns out there is an entire freaking ravine right underneath this whole place the entire time. Like, what the heck, actually? So, what I think we should do, first and foremost, we should probably uncover this whole thing, and maybe we could use this, maybe even as a decoration of this entire place, right? I think this could look really cool. Like, look, it's literally one block of dirt covering the entire ravine. What? Oh yeah, that does look pretty cool, not gonna lie. That's gonna make a super good decoration once we're actually done with this place. But yeah, one last thing actually. By the way, this was all a forest biome, which we cleared out, in case I haven't mentioned it. That's why I decided to do this entire project here, because it was a nice empty space that we cleared out without even the intention of making a project here. I just needed wood. But yeah, this is apparently something that happened. We have a decapitated bush, a rose bush I think they're called. And I'm gonna test something here. We have two of these, so I'm gonna try to break this one, and I wanna see if we actually get the rose bush from it, so wish me luck. No, we don't, okay. Well, now we have what looks like a decapitated rose bush, which met an untimely fate. And I am really afraid to turn these into path blocks, because it might update the block. Actually, it shouldn't update the block, right? Because it's diagonal. I'm gonna test this. Oh, please work. Oh, yeah. Okay, if we place a block right next to this, it's gonna update and it's gonna break, I think. This one's definitely gonna break. I don't know if this one is gonna break. It's all kind of cursed. I don't really have an understanding of this. I'm gonna be honest with you, so I'm just gonna, leave it as is. But yeah, let's actually get to this here. I do have a bit of material right on me so we can get right into the decoration of this place. Yeah, okay, I think this is a pretty decent shape for a big boulder in the middle of a wasteland. So, to anyone who's been with this channel for longer than a few months, will probably know that we have something similar going on right over here, right beyond this hill in our very first area that we worked on, which would be Spruce Town. Yeah, you can see it exactly there. So way back when I was just starting out with this experimental biome, oh, leg spikes. I always get legs when I come into Spruce Town. But yeah, we have a bit of an experiment here we did. We decided that we're gonna do like a rocky spikes biome type of thing, and that is exactly what we did here. And I think it turned out pretty good. I do really like how these rock spikes actually turned out. I think they add a bunch of character to this build that we have, which is right below this biome, Pesky Enderman. But yeah, that is something that we're gonna try and almost replicate in our new build, except it's not gonna be fully stone, it's gonna be wastelandy with a side of stone. And we're also gonna add a bunch of stuff like soul sand and soul soil into the mix. But yeah, first and foremost, I gotta sketch out all of these boulder or rock spike or however you wanna call them formations. So yeah, actually one of the reasons why I decided to do something similar again is because I wanted to see how my methods changed and how they affect how the end result of the build actually looks, right? Because when I first did that biome like a year and a half ago, I think, over there that you saw, well, I kind of just mixed cobblestone and andesite and stone randomly. Yeah, now I have kind of a set of rules that I follow whenever I texture my builds, so I wonder if that's gonna affect how they look very much, or if it's actually gonna be barely noticeable. So yeah, while I was actually working on this whole pathoning thing we have going on here, Minecraft Live actually happened. I was watching that while I was working on all of this, and the copper golem didn't win. Of course he didn't. If I actually wanna like vote for a winning mob, right, I actually have to vote for a mob that I don't want to win. I don't want it to win, right? Because whenever I vote for something, it just automatically loses, it seems. So yeah, the ally won, not the copper golem, which is slightly disappointing. But honestly, I'm actually fine with the ally being added into the game. I'm completely fine with it. I was just really rooting for the copper golem because it just kind of seems like the type of mob that I personally would enjoy the most. But I'm fine with the ally as well. I'm just, sad for the poor Glare who got left out on the first mob vote with like 10% of votes. Poor guy. Right, so we've got a bunch of rock formations sketched out, ready to be detailed. And yeah, this is only the first batch. We're of course gonna add more over time once we decide to work on this project more and more. And I think this is a pretty good first setup for the first day. And I actually decided to decorate one of them fully, so this is how they're gonna look when they are finished, and you can see a few key differences between this design and the one we had back in Spruce Town. And yeah, I think it's pretty noticeable. The fact that we use cobblestone near the bottom, stone in the middle mostly, and then andesite near the top, that kind of creates this transition, goes from the lightest block to the darkest one. Yeah, I think that looks really, really good when it is done properly. Of course, this is a organic build, however, so usually what you do is you kind of go around and you just look at a few places and you decide whether it is good or not to continue decorating like I'm doing right now as we speak. But yeah, I think this is a pretty decent first example of what we're gonna do here. And yeah, I think we should actually move on to something else, because I can finish this off camera, but I am really excited to try out the other decorations that I have planned. Okay, let's try this out. I brought some soul sand, some soul soil, and a little bit of campfire action, and in theory, this is what I had in mind. I'm just gonna build it over here on screen. Gonna put the soul sand there, and that should release a smoke particle, and not as many smoke particles as the campfire usually produces, but just a few every once in a while, just like that. And I think that is really, really cool. Okay, and I'm just gonna put in some soil and soul sand around it. We're gonna have another one over here. I think that's good. I don't know about you guys, but I think this looks pretty cool. I'm noticing though that this one's releasing way more smoke particles than the other one. What is happening here? Do you see that? Yeah, it's definitely releasing more overall. Maybe it's just getting lucky with the particles going for the block. I don't know. I don't honestly know. But I think that's a cool concept, so I'm gonna spread these around the island as well. Well, it's not an island, it's a peninsula, you would call this, I think. And while I'm working on this, I'm kind of just thinking of names for this place, right? How we could name this entire area we're working on right now. And since the outpost is right there, and I'm kind of planning to also remove all of that spruce forest over there, you can see, and also replacing it with this wastelandy type of area thing. You know, if that is the outpost, how about we call this place the Outlands? Oh, now that's being smart, isn't it? I don't know, just kinda sounds like a fun idea. Tell me what you think in the comments. Maybe this is really dumb. Maybe it's really smart. Right, so we are already over 10 minutes in the episode and we still haven't done anything, so I decided that I'm just gonna do a major portion of this project off camera, because I would do the same thing over and over again anyway, decorating the pillars and adding in the smokestacks and everything. So yeah, I just decided to do it off camera, and here we are. This is how, well, not the finished product is looking. There is still a lot of stuff that I am planning to add here, but for today, I think I'm pretty happy to leave this project as is. So we're gonna try and cover everything that we did here. We've got all of the pillars, and I decided to put a bunch of dead bushes around here. I think they ended up looking really good. I think they fit right into this kind of place. I think they fit in this place more than they fit in a desert, honestly. I think that turned out pretty good. So yeah, we got a bunch of these dirt patches and coarse dirt patches, and I decided to add these dirt patches around the mud patches as well. That way they blend in a way better way, I think. I just think they look way better this way. And I also decided to put a little bit of greenery into this place as well. Just a tiny itty bit. I think that is a nice contrast though. If you look at this place, you can see just small sprinkles of green, and I think that looks really cool. But yeah, moving on, we've got a bunch of these spruce wood stairways over here. I'm not entirely sure what these are supposed to represent. Yeah, just don't think about it too much, and they end up looking like a pretty decent decoration around here. And yeah, I also decided to do like these super tiny boulders around the bigger ones. That's a pretty neat detail, I think, as well. And yeah, that is basically everything I did, and I just repeated it many times over. So we've got all of the details all the way back here as well. And yeah, that is basically it for today's project. I still need to figure out what I actually want to put into this biome, which is usually not how you should do stuff like this. Usually you're supposed to come out with a functional build, and then you gotta come up with the aesthetics of the build. And when you're done with the build, you want to try and match the surroundings with the aesthetic of the build. So we're kind of doing this the other way around. I first started with the surroundings, and then we're gonna come up with a functional build to put into this place. So yeah, maybe not the smartest way to do this, but alas, it is done. So yeah, we're just gonna keep it as is today. And I also tried to do the Stony Beaches. They are a difficult thing to figure out though. This is a small concept I did here, kind of an idea that I just placed down, and they look pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I just think it's missing something. Like I need to figure out how to do this, but in a better fashion than this, because this is kind of basic, and I don't really like it that much. And if I imagine the entire peninsula being surrounded by this, then I don't think that's gonna look very good. So I'm just gonna keep that on hold for now, and maybe we can figure out something later. But yeah, let's try and do the other project of the day. I have a pretty cool thing planned. So, pointed dripstone. I have no idea how I got this. We might have gotten this when we were mining, when 1.17 came out. We might have also gotten this from a wandering trader. I am not entirely sure. But it doesn't really matter how we got it. The main thing is that we do have it and now we can use it and farm it. So that's exciting. And that's exactly what we're gonna do as well. So we've got these empty spaces in the outpost, right? I never knew what to do with these. So we're gonna try to fill up one of these empty spaces today with a dripstone farm. I think that's gonna be a good way to add more functionality to this mining base, and we're basically gonna be farming something that would normally spawn in a cave. So I think this makes a lot of sense to actually put it into this place rather than something like the compendium project. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't actually know how to build a dripstone farm. So we're gonna have to try and figure out the concept on our own here, and I think I might know how to do this. It shouldn't be too complicated at all, I think. I just don't really have any confirmation because I have never seen anyone build one, right? So this might take a little bit of experimentation, or we might just, build this and it's gonna work, which is something I'm hoping will happen. But my idea is that we're gonna have a observer over here. I can't seem to place it for some reason the way I want it to. There we go. And then we're gonna have a dripstone block, which you can craft with 4-pointed dripstone, and that is gonna be placed. Actually, I want this to be one block further, like this. There we go. And then we're gonna have dripstone over there. So in case you don't know how dripstone actually works, the way it spreads, or I should say the way it grows when it's placed like this, it only grows when there is a dripstone block above it and you have water above that dripstone, and then you can see that there's gonna be particles. Actually, let me try and do an example here. Yeah, you should be able to see water particles coming from the dripstone itself. Yeah, there it is. So that should be an indication that this is working as it should be, and it's gonna slowly start growing downwards. And the way we're gonna farm it, at least that's how I think we're gonna farm it, I don't know if this is actually gonna work, is we're gonna have an observer, which is gonna detect when the dripstone grows into this block, and then we're gonna have a piston over here, which is gonna extend when that happens, and that is it. It's basically the same as a sugarcane farm, except with a sugarcane farm we have it the other way around. We have a piston over here and a observer over here rather than on the bottom block. But I don't know why this wouldn't work, right? Like, this is basically all we need. I mean, we do still need to have a, a collection system for this, which is probably just gonna be a hopper line right here. But I don't see why we would need something else other than this. I think this is basically it. It's a very simple concept. Very, very simple. But it should work, right? There is no reason for this not to work. At least I hope. So I'm just gonna build a few of these modules, and we're gonna need to wait for the dripstone itself to actually grow a bit, because since we only have 10 dripstone, we can only do 2 modules right next to each other. So we gotta wait for this to grow, but after that we can just fill in the components we're missing and we can have all of the observers and pistons in place. Oh yeah. Yeah, I wonder if this guy is gonna like fly into a lava pool or something eventually, but maybe he's just gonna be here for a while. Maybe he'll wander off, go into the distance, find a new cave to settle in. We'll see. I'm gonna watch his career with great interest though. Anyway, let's check it out here. The Dragstone Farm is completed and we went for a pretty basic look. Basically did the same thing as we did over here with the Outpost, with the ripped oak and stone brick and stone. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to fit it into this place basically. But yeah, I went for the light gray actually, stained glass. This looks pretty cool I think, and definitely looks better than normal glass. I actually had the normal glass here first and I didn't really like it, so I replaced it with this variant. And I want to cover the entire roof with dripstone blocks and pointed dripstone. That's gonna have to wait, however, because apparently this stuff grows extremely slowly. Like, I've been here for a few hours, I've just been sorting through my chests just to pass time, and yeah, we only got 2, which I also manually harvested because we don't have a piece of dripstone in front of the observer yet, so yeah. maybe I should built a few more modules of this, because they weren't really that expensive anyway. Oh boy. So the best way to farm this stuff actually, if you wanna do it manually, is to have pointed dripstone on the bottom as well. And if you have pointed dripstone on the bottom, it will also slowly grow along with this pointed dripstone, so you basically have double the amount of dripstone. The only bad thing about it is that you can't really harvest it automatically, or at least there is no easy way to do it, as far as I know. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this project so far. These beams will probably go away once we get the dripstone in the roof, and I also built like these 2 small shelves of sorts. We got the flower pot with mushrooms in them and a candle and a lantern, and I'm also gonna put a pointed dripstone into the item frame here. We just ain't rich enough to do it as of right now, so that's gonna have to wait, but as far as that goes, I'm pretty happy with this. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up the episode here for today. I just really quickly wanted to say that I do apologize for the decreased amount of videos. There's a lot of stuff happening IRL right now, so I gotta deal with that. So yeah, hopefully stuff gets back on track real soon, so we can continue working on this world, and I also have a few other series that I actually want to work on, not just the LP world, but I've been really enjoying my time specifically in this world as of late. I've been having a lot of fun building all of these new projects. So yeah, that is it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!